The gods have blessed us with the announcement of Hades 2. Here are 5 things you need to know for the upcoming sequel to Supergiant's hit roguelike. And don't forget to honor Dionysus by being real cool, man, and dropping a sweet divine like on the video. The protagonist for Hades 2 has been confirmed to be Melinoe. Now, much like Zagreus, Melinoe is in fact not an original character invented by Supergiant Games. She appears in Greek mythology as a chthonic figure, meaning relating to the underworld. She is often associated with nightmares, being said to wander the mortal world, capable of changing her shape to strike fear into the hearts of men. In Greek mythology, although genealogy is always sketchy, and some texts may portray her slightly differently, she is generally the daughter of Persephone. Her father is usually portrayed as either Zeus or Hades, depending on the poet. Given that we see her in the trailer mirroring Zagreus' dual eye colors, it would not be surprising if she were, in fact, his full sister. Her name Melinoe comes from the root word melon, which means friend in Elvish.
What's the Elvish word for friend?
Melon.
Okay, maybe not. Melon's Greek meaning is actually very similar to the English word, having the connotation of a greenish fruit. In ancient times, there was a disease called chlorosis, which would cause the skin of the sufferer to gain a greenish tinge. Today, we are able to classify this as a form of anemia. So to the Greeks, this means that Melinoe would be associated with sickness and death, which makes sense considering her place in the underworld. The mysterious witch that appears to be Melinoe's mentor is likely to be the goddess Hecate. Hecate has many symbols, some of which appear in the trailer. She's associated with witchcraft, magic, moon, and creatures of the night like ghosts, hellhounds, and maybe lichens. She was also the goddess of boundaries and spaces in between others, including walls, borders of countries, and even doorways. In fact, it was common to see statues of Hecate placed at crossroads and gates in order for her to provide protection to travelers. Another epithet, or descriptive title for her, was apotropeia, which is one who is able to turn things away, such as evil or bad luck. Because she holds so many roles, she is often portrayed with 3 heads, faces, or sometimes outright bodies, facing in 3 directions for maximum awareness, something that is likely referenced through these shoulder pauldrons in the trailer. Hecate is a complicated figure in mythology, neither fully good nor fully evil despite her great power. One of her important roles was warning Demeter about the kidnapping of her daughter Persephone, even though at the time she didn't know that it was at the hand of Hades. But every good story needs a good villain, and it looks like we're getting one in the form of Kronos. Before the Olympians, such as Zeus and Hades, were born, the universe was ruled by the Titans. The Titans were the children of Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. Kronos was the youngest of these 12 Titans. Besides the Titans, Uranus and Gaia also gave birth to 3 Cyclops and 3 hundred-handed beings. Uranus didn't much care for his monstrous offspring, and hid them away out of his sight, throwing them into Tartarus. Gaia became angry and urged the Titans to dethrone their father. She created a sickle made from adamantium and gave it to Kronos. And, boy did he use it, separating his dad from the family jewels. This left the throne pretty wide open for Kronos. And since he didn't exactly have a model father, he was just as bad to his children, who were the Olympians Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Hades, Hestia, and Demeter. It was prophesied that he would be overthrown by his offspring, and so making the logical choice, he swallowed each of his children as they were born. When Zeus was born, however, his mother gave Kronos a stone to swallow instead and hid the newborn away until he could rise up against his father. Eventually, Zeus grew up, and his mother tricked Kronos into vomiting up the rest of the children. The ensuing war between Titans and Olympians raged on for 10 years. Zeus freed the 100-handed beings and the Cyclops, who in return made his famous lightning bolts for him. Eventually, they overthrew Kronos and the Titans, casting them into Tartarus and eternal imprisonment. Kronos is generally depicted with his famous sickle and is also known as Father Time. His child-eating proclivities were seen as an allegory for time devouring all things, and as such, we get Kronos' name associated with such time-related words as chronological, anachronism, and chronicles. So how is Kronos back? And is he going to try and eat his son Hades once again? Only time will tell. But where is our favorite silver-tongued, flame-footed, monster-killing, rug-decorating, lute-playing hero Zagreus? Well, probably running the Underworld. Hades is in captivity, likely taken prisoner by Kronos himself. Because of this, it stands to reason that Zag and his team have their hands full in keeping the Underworld from spiraling out of control. We don't know yet if Zagreus will appear, but in my opinion, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if this is the second part of what will be a 3-part Greek epic, with Melinoe and Zagreus joining forces in a future 3rd installment. After all, the number 3 is hugely significant in Greek mythology and culture. The mathematician and philosopher Protagonist considered 3 to be the perfect number. The known universe was divided into 3 between Zeus for the sky, Poseidon for the sea, and Hades for the underworld. The 3 fates are the goddesses who spin the web of destiny for both mortal men and the divine alike. Not to mention the Fury sisters themselves. So, I say, let's hope for the best new trilogy since the Oresteia. If there's one thing we've come to love from the original game, it's the colorful cast of characters. From Achilles and Patroclus, Orpheus and Eurydice, to Sisyphus and Boldy, the world is full of interesting personalities and compelling conversation. And it's looking like this will be no different. There's a few friends that it seems we will be encountering along the way. First is Apollo, one of the biggest Olympians missing from the first game. He is the god of light, the sun, knowledge, poetry, and art. Next is Nemesis, the goddess of revenge and divine retribution. She is one of the children of Nyx and is sure to have plenty to say about her mother. We also see Moros, another one of Nyx's children, who sends mortals to meet their fate. In stories, he works closely with his brother Thanatos, the embodiment of death, to carry out the will of his sisters, the Fates. Finally, a shade only identified as Dora could very well turn out to be Pandora herself, the mortal woman who could not restrain her curiosity and opened a box filled with every evil that fled into the world. And these are just the tip of the iceberg. We are sure to see plenty more gods, goddesses, and heroes on our journeys. But for now, we will have to wait until sometime in 2023 to get our first full look at the new and improved gameplay experience. Supergiant has confirmed that they are planning on releasing Hades 2 on early access. This means that you'll have the chance to test and give feedback on several versions as it nears completion. Personally, I can't wait to return to the world of myth and see how Melinoe, Hecate, Kronos, and all the rest will capture our imaginations. I hope you enjoyed yourself and maybe learned something today in this video. If you want to watch a Hades 2 playthrough with a guy who knows a thing or two about mythology, then be sure to subscribe. And also brush up on some of my original Hades videos while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in hell.